the getting to know you type of interview is usually done at the first part of the conversation. And when we have getting to know interviews where there is no structure, it is more like when we tell our applicants, don't feel pressured, kwentuhan lamang to. Okay, these are interview styles that do not really answer a lot of the competencies that we want to find out from our participants. Although we mean well by trying to, make them feel relaxed and make them feel less parang agitated or anxious, no? But it does not really focus on finding out what they are, what their strengths and weaknesses are. And it does not help us also find out if their competencies are job fit for the role that we are hiring them for. Okay. Let us have the second bullet. Sir Chris.
In a competency-based interview, questions are designed to assess a candidate's knowledge, skills, judgment, and attributes in the key competencies by the role. You can then score their responses against agreed criteria to build up an objective picture of their sustainability.
Okay.
Suitability pala, so
suitability. Suitability. So the questions are designed to assess the candidate's knowledge and skills, judgment and attributes in the key competencies required by the role. And guess what? These questions are the questions that you will be putting together. Okay? So it will be, kasi sabi nga natin nung nag-discuss from the previous batches, no? It is up to our own regional offices, no, and our regional heads to initiate the formatting or the conceptualizing of the questions and the processes in our own regional offices for us to be able to assess effectively the applicants that we are hiring. Competency-based interviews help us identify if these applicants will be the best fit in the competencies that is required for each of the roles that we're trying to hire. And in this case, when we do competency-based interviews, okay, let me just clear my annotations. Okay. When we do, one of the benefits of competency-based interviews is can help organization avoid this inefficiency by focusing only on the important parts of the stages of recruitment. Okay. We also are able to select criteria used in the strict selection criteria used ensures that you can identify and eliminate candidates who have a distorted view of their ability. Meron po kasi tayong mga applicants who might feel that they are the best fit for that role, even if they're not too sure about what to do. No, meron po tayong mga applicants who might just feel too confident about their abilities. And they can always talk and discuss with you what they can do. And if we do not see past that, baka lalo tayong ma-persuade, no, na baka ito nga tong taong to can actually do it because they can present themselves well. And we won't be able to see how competent they are if we do not do a competency-based interview. When we process or when we do competency-based interviews, natatanggal yung hunch or yung, ano bang hunch sa Tagalog? Kutob, no? Kutob ko or feeling ko, this person will do well. Kasi, just reality-wise, dahil nga sa biases natin at sa ating mga pakiramdam, ang oral nitong person na to parang okay. And that's sometimes how we hire our applicants. So if we use competency-based questions and a structured process, this removes this particular practice, and we don't have to rely on hunches to hire people for our organization. Okay? An applicant may also discover before they commit to a role that they wouldn't enjoy it. And this will also save them time and money in the long run. Kasi naintindihan nila, alam mo, ang hirap nung tanong na binigay ni Miss Johanna. Parang hindi ko kayang gawin yung ganong role that they asked. Okay? or they might have a different misconception of the role that they're trying to apply for. And there are some applicants who would say, Miss Ria, I would like to withdraw my application because I don't think I'm fit for this role. Because of the competency-based interviews, we are able to identify that this person can actually address the requirements needed for this role. And finally, this can also help a governance of your recruitment process. It is evidence-based, transparent process that uses specific criteria to test all the candidates equally, fairly, and consistently. Sabi nga po natin, everybody has to start at the equal footing. No, removing the biases, we are all aware of it, and we allow everybody to start from zero. When we do a competency-based interview, everybody is given the chance to prove themselves. Okay, so how do we actually go about it? No, we have already developed a clear selection criteria. It's already in place. Pinakita na natin, pinadala rin sa amin ni Michelle yung inyong JD at ang inyong scoring sheet. And it's a very good scoring sheet. Maayos na po siya. Na-identify nyo na po kung ano yung mga competencies at ano yung targeted scores na kailangan natin para ma-hire ang mga empleyado na kailangan ninyo. But we also have to prepare effective questions. Kasi hindi po tayo pwedeng humugot lamang po ng tanong para ibato sa ating mga applicants. Kasi we will not be able to draw the best version of themselves. Although in interviews, they always present the best versions of themselves. But we want the best versions that come from their experiences. That will show their capabilities. Kasi po, madali lang mag-memorize ng sagot sa isang interview. Especially in art, in the resources that we have online, especially in the internet, no? How do you answer a certain question? Maraming tips na pwede silang makuha dyan. But the best way to draw the best parts of your applicant is to prepare effective questions using the STAR technique. Ano po kaya yung STAR technique? And I will teach you in a while, okay? And finally, we will conduct a structured interview process, which we will learn at the last part of today to early tomorrow, okay? So let me introduce you to the STAR technique. The STAR technique is actually an acronym, no? It starts with S, which is situation, T, task, A, action, and R, result. Okay, so the STAR technique is actually an acronym, no? Situation, task, action, and result. Sorry, wait lang. So this is an infographic of how we can actually do the STAR technique, where you actually start your statements by asking your applicants about the situation or a scenario that they have been a part of. Okay? The STAR technique kasi is behavioral in nature. Hindi po natin tinatanong ang applicants natin kung paano ang reaksyon or paano ang gagawin nila sa isang certain scenario. Okay? We want to draw them and put them in the situation that they have been. Pinanggalingan na nila yung sitwasyon na yun at paano nila, how did they actually respond to that situation. Okay? It is more realistic. The answers that they will most likely provide will have or will provide us a more realistic picture on how they will react to certain scenarios once they are in that position that they are applying for. So the first S or the first letter is STAR, which is situation. This is to ask them an event, a project, a situation, a scenario where they were challenged or where they had difficulties in. So magsa-start yung statements nyo po sa tell me about a time. Yan yung mga give me an example of. Yan yung mga start ng inyong mga questioning. Have you ever been? Yan. Okay? So that is the first sentence, or first phrase that we normally use. The next questioning or the next P, the next letter is task. where you ask them about responsibilities and assignments that were given to them. Ito, the good thing about these technique is maski if the employee has not had, they've never had experience being employed, but experience-wise, they may have had experiences elsewhere. So we are not singling out the situation na ang i-hire lang natin taong may experience. No, we can ask them in a more general way. So the T is asking about tasks or responsibilities that they have encountered or that was given to them. A is action. What were the steps that you had to practice or had to go through to get to the result that you wanted? And that brings you to R, result. What were the results that were taken or the results that came out after doing the action that you did? Okay, so that is your STAR technique. So when you ask these questions, when you ask in this format, you're able to draw from your applicants, ano ba ang reaction nila? Paano ba nila i-handle ang certain scenario given kapag na pinanggalingan nila? Okay, so let's do a short quiz. Okay, not a short quiz, a short exercise. Okay. What is a behavioral question in this scenario? Sige, what is a behavioral question in this scenario? Let's see. Miss Janet, go ahead.
So I was just actually I'm about to answer yung question po ni Miss Faith. Which of the following is an example of a behavioral question? So I think it's letter B po.
Letter B. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. The answer is actually trick po yan. Yung A po is a trick answer. Okay? Kasi A is actually slightly, if you answer this question, give me an example on how you would handle an irate customer phone call. Ang mangyayari po dyan is we are expecting a very fixed answer. Of course, a positive one. And yung applicant po natin will always give a sample that is what we want to hear. So trick po ang A kasi ang best answer is B. Behavioral. Tell me about the time when you performed well under enormous pressure. Kasi i-explain po natin or i-explain ni applicant sa atin kung paano niya hinandle when they were provided or when they were given a task and a challenge and how did they handle it. So dyan po lalabas kung paano siya mag-react kapag faced with a situation where there's pressure or where there's a big project that has to be handled. So then it will target competencies on your evaluation sheet. Di ba po? So you want to check the behavior of your applicant. And that's how you ask your questions. Okay? Now, another technique, dugtong lang sa STAR is AR, alternative result. Kasi you can also probe. Pwede pa po kayo magtanong. So after you did, part of the probing is, so pagkatapos mong gawin yung ganyang project, what else did you do to address the concern? And as part of the screening committee, you have every right to ask and do follow-up questions. Because our applicants can always just provide us with probably short answers or short story or a short narrative on how they fixed the problem. But if you feel that they still need to present themselves and discuss themselves further, you can do so by asking them for alternative results. Let's say you can give them a certain scenario. What do you think can be done if faced with a different scenario? So the STAR technique, STAR-R technique, is a technique of questioning that can help you probe and get more details out of your applicants. And with the way they answer, then that's how you target certain competencies on your score sheet. So kung paano nila sinagot yan, mas maiintindihan mo, this person is able to answer or address this particular competence. Forecasting, na-target niya ang forecasting or itong particular requirement sa inyong score sheet.